Hey there, everyone. I've been chatting with a lot of leaders over the last few weeks or so, and I'm really noticing a pressure that's building in them to find answers to really complex and changing circumstances and situations. And it's interesting, right? Because I reckon we live in a world that demands answers and actually demands that leaders provide them. It's pretty intense and it's pretty unrelenting for what I'm hearing from the leaders I'm working with. And the interesting thing is that in my experience, I know that it's when I'm curious, that when I'm asking questions, when I'm asking well thought out strategic questions, that is what actually better serves me, better serves the people I'm leading, and better serves the organizations, the communities, the systems that I'm living and leading in. And I reckon this is because, like, I love questions. I'm a big, big fan of questions. And because I reckon questions are the quickest way, the most effective way to really get to the heart of the work that needs to be done. It's a way we can draw on and seek out the collective wisdom of the people that we're working with, that we're living with, that we're leading. Questions actually encourage us to pause, to reflect. They harness the attention that can sometimes be pretty scattered, right? And they harness it and bring it into focus to explore and maybe even find a solution together. And I know that questions are fateful because I've used different questions in my own life. I've used different questions in my work with senior leaders to orient the conversation, the attention, the intention in a particular way. Because what questions do is they help us seek and find data and information, right? And what do we base our strategy and planning on? We invariably base it on data and information. And what informs our action is strategy and planning. And it all comes back to what was the question that we were asking that actually then informed that data, the information, the strategy, the planning, and therefore the actions that we're taking now. So I thought today I'd share with you some of the questions I find really helpful in my work with leaders to see if they might help you ask a different question, ask a strategic question, ask a question that leads to different data, different planning, and maybe different actions. So those of you who've been following me for a while will know what does good look like is the meta great question in my world. It helps us orient towards clarity, towards understanding, and to different perspectives of the answer to that question. So what does good look like is a great question. What does it look like for you? What does it look like for them, whoever they are, family, friends, team members, clients? And what does it look like for us? If we come up and out and put us all together, what does it look like for us? What's yours to own is another question I often use with leaders and teams, so that rather than pointing fingers out, we're actually going, hang on, have I made my expectations, my needs, my desires clear? Have I done that? That's what's mine to own. And am I willing now to listen to others' perspectives on this? So what's yours to own? Another great question. How can we be better coming out of this than we were coming in is my anti-fragile question, right? It keeps us looking for learning and growth, even as we are navigating and in the midst of struggle and challenge, not always comfortable, but always looking for where is the wisdom and the expansion that can come from this, what might be unpleasant experience. Here are a few others. What do we need to accept and let go? This is a really useful question. What do we need to accept and let go? Useful if you work in complex systems where you don't have control of all the factors that are influencing you. And then finally, 2, what culture are we creating? What culture are we accepting? Because if we only ask the creating, we're kind of ignoring that, okay, we might be putting intentional effort over here, but that is actually being negated by what we're not inviting accountability over, what we are accepting in terms of bad behavior over there. So what culture are we creating? What culture are we accepting? These are some great questions that I know different conversations emerge from. They take us up and out. They help us get to the strategic answer that we need in order to make a difference. And they are what I call upstream questions. If we get the answers here, it means we spend less time dealing with downstream problems and challenges. Great questions. They're the tool that you have always available on your leader's tool belt. I hope you find using some of these helpful. Until next time.